Hey guys, hope you're well, and today I want to talk to you about, is too much fibre a bad thing, and is it causing you digestive issues or the digestive issues you might be having? Okay, so today I want to go through this, and today we're going to start first with having a look at fibre and the different types, and then we'll go into a little bit more complex things. So first we get soluble fibre. So when we look at fibre, we've got two types. We've got soluble and insoluble fibre. So soluble fibre is what we want to know as dissolving fibre. Okay, so when we have soluble fibre, it kind of turns into like a gel-like substance in the digestive system, adds like a bit of bulk to the stool, okay, and kind of helps to slow digestion down a little bit. Okay, so what else does it do? It helps to feed the friendly gut bacteria, and it also helps with creating short-chain fatty acids, so short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which help with gut health, also supporting insulin sensitivity, which is really, really good. Now, obviously, the benefit of obviously soluble fibre as well, with aiding with insulin sensitivity, that's also going to be coming most likely from the fact that it helps to control your blood sugars. So when we go and eat carbohydrates, what can happen is our blood sugar levels can rise, so soluble fibre actually helps to keep them under control so we don't get as much of a spike, okay? And also it can help with supporting cholesterol levels. So when you've got that gel-like sort of substance going around, it can kind of go around the digestive system and mop up anything that shouldn't be there, okay? So the foods where we're going to find soluble fibre: potato, sweet potato, carrot, squash, parsnips, beetroot, plantain, oats, apples, nuts, seeds. You're also going to get it in some beans and things like that as well. Okay, also other things maybe like lentils, pulses. Okay, you've also then got insoluble fibres. This is what we call non-dissolving. So the way that I kind of tell people about it, how I was once told, is imagine just taking a bowl of water and dropping in some celery and nothing happens. Okay, and that's what we want to imagine. So what can it do? It can help with preventing constipation, because when you have insoluble fibre, it actually pulls water into the digestive system and kind of helps things move along. Okay, that's why it's essential though to also drink enough water if you are having quite a bit of fibre. Okay, colon health, which is always good. Controlling blood sugar, most fibre is going to do that anyway. Okay, and you're going to get it in things more like your heavy dense greens, so spinach, kale, broccoli, cabbage, whole wheat, whole grain products, brown rice. You're also going to get it in some beans and lentils. So there is a bit of a crossover between the two. Now, all good things up to this point, but the problem comes in, guys, if you are having too much fibre, or if you currently have digestive problems. Okay, so why? If you've got digestive problems, IBS, things, sometimes like diverticulitis, ulcerative colitis. The problem is the inside of the digestive system is inflamed. Now, having an inflamed digestive system is not cool. The problem with insoluble fibre, because it's non-dissolving and it is quite fibrous, okay, if you've then got an already inflamed digestive system, if your gut is trying to heal and dim that inflammation down, how you want to imagine if you go and take in too much insoluble fibre, so things like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, onion, garlic, too many of these things, what can actually happen is, imagine taking like a sore wound that's trying to heal and getting a wire brush and fibrous wire brush grinding against it. And what happens for a lot of people when they have IBS, they have other digestive issues, okay, then what can happen is high fibre diets can make it worse. So this can be a problem for many people, and a lot of those high fibre foods actually tend to come from things like kale, spinach, broccoli, cabbage, especially if you're having it uncooked. Okay, so in a raw state, it's not partly broken down. So one of the things that I really, really recommend to people, if you've got IBS or even sometimes like IBD, so diverticulitis or ulcerative colitis or Crohn's and things like that, what you actually find with some of these people is they actually need to back off the amount of overall fibre they're having to start with, but also the amount of insoluble fibre, because it's just too much. As we know, it's known as roughage. So things like salads, probably not going to be the best thing. because it's not cooked. It's a lot of roughage that's going into the stomach. I know when I had really bad digestive issues, kale, broccoli, cabbage, my God, my digestive system was in a right state from doing it. But even if I was going and eating things like potato with the skin on, so one of the things that I personally done, and this is going to be individual, but one of the things that I have done, and surprisingly I always did it as a kid, or my mum always done it as a kid, we never had potato with skins on. And then when I got into the health and fitness industry, I thought, right, I need to be healthier. So I was eating potato with the skin on. I was eating broccoli and I wasn't having it kind of cooked. It was like part cooked because I thought that was better. And I was having loads of kale and spinach, and you know, I was eating it raw and all these sorts of things, and my digestive system went down the pan, okay? And not in a good way, like I wasn't going to the toilet as much as I thought, okay? And I should have been, should I say. I wasn't going to you know, use the toilet facilities or whatever we want to say as I should have been using it. So for me, too much fibre was a bad thing, and it's something that I've seen a lot with a lot of people I work with. People who come to me are IBS. I'll tell you something, man, you know, sometimes I'll have points where I literally can't stop going to the toilet. So some people go one way, some people go the other, you know. And I've had clients who have come to me and literally they have some broccoli or some cauliflower, whoa, they're straight to the toilet, like boom, they're in there straight away, okay? So what I've actually found and what I've done with these clients is I reduced, not removed, we need some fibre, we reduced the amount of green veg that they were having to start with, number one. If you're going to have some insoluble fibre, make sure that they were having it with some soluble fibre. So soluble fibre is also kind of known as soothing. It's not the roughage that you get as insoluble, it's soluble fibre is soothing, insoluble fibre is obviously that roughage stuff. So have it with some soluble fibre. So if you were going to have some green beans or some spinach or kale, one, make sure it's well cooked to start with, okay? And two, go and have it with some potato. The other one I try and get people to do is look at limiting their fibre. So I actually get a lot of my clients to move from brown rice to white rice, okay? With their potatoes, we take the skin off. This might not be the case for all of you. Some of you might be able to handle the skins, but a lot of my guys, when they come to me, if they've got digestive issues. If they've not got digestive issues, we don't worry about this. But if they have, we take the skin off the potato. You know, we cook the veg well, we reduce the amount of green veg, and people go, oh, what about my vitamins, what about my minerals? Trust me, if you're eating things like white potato, high in potassium, sweet potato, let's stick it this way, sweet potato, carrots and squash are all high in vitamin A, okay? Potato, normal white potato is high in potassium, okay? So you're going to get loads of benefits from these other things here as well, okay? We don't just get vitamins and minerals purely from green veg. And again, like I say, it's not a case of removing it, it's reducing it, mixing it in with other things, having a varied diet and making sure that it's cooked well, and just trying to reduce the fibre. Okay, so I had a client, just a quick example for you. He came to me within 2 weeks. He'd had IBS for years. Within 2 weeks, his IBS was gone. The simple things I did: one, we took the skin off the potatoes. That was a simple one. Okay. Two, reduce the amount of oats he was having in one go, just to start with. Okay. Three, reduce the amount of green veg and had him having things more like swede, butternut squash, and all those things. Again, if we're having courgette, I was getting him to take the skin off the courgette. If you're having carrots, take that little deep core out the middle, because it's the quite fibrous bit that's quite hard to break down. Make it into something like a soup, because it's cooked, but instead of draining the water away, you're keeping the nutrients in there, and have it as a soup or whatever. Or if you were boiling up veggies, then take the leftover watery, you know, vegetable juice from it and make it into a stock, or use it for something beneficial. Okay, otherwise, you know, we don't want to just be chucking those nutrients away that might have come out of the food when we have boiled it up or whatever. Okay, so these are all the things that you can do if you've got digestive issues. So one, you're going to reduce the amount of fibre. Okay. Two, you're going to try and have a little bit more soluble fibre, a little bit less insoluble fibre. Mix them together. And the other one for me personally, I'm not a fan of brown rice anyway, because the problem with brown rice, it contains phytic acid, which can actually block the absorption of things like iron and zinc and magnesium in the body. So this is why a lot of the time, even if someone hasn't got digestive issues, if they work with me, I put them onto white basmati rice anyway, because there's not much difference between them, but they are going to have the added benefit that they're not going to have the blocked absorption of these vitamins and minerals and nutrients from having brown rice anymore if they're having the white rice instead. Now, to finish off, I just want to quickly talk about a study that was done by Anne F. Peary, I think that's said, and co. And you can find this study on the gastrojournal.org website. Okay, so there's a little bit of a reference for you if you want to go read the study, where they found out that excess fibre can alter gut bacteria in a bad way, that it can cause an overgrowth of bacteria that could contribute to diverticular pouches, which would then eventually lead to things like diverticulitis. Now, this is not me saying don't ever eat fibre, because fibre has benefits for us. But if you were going to start to increase your fibre, don't go from having 2 grams a day on a highly processed diet to having 35, 40 grams a day, eating 500 grams of broccoli a day and eating all the skins of your potatoes and stuff. Slowly build yourself up, because I guarantee you guys, what I did was exactly what I just said you not to do when I got into the fitness industry. Went from quite a low fibre diet as we had from kids to having well too much, and that ruined my digestive system. So don't make the mistake. If you are struggling with the IBS or those sorts of things, try these little few tips that I've said about lowering the fibre, removing the skins, mixing soluble with insoluble. And if you've got any questions on this, or you want any help or advice moving further forward, just drop me a comment in the box below. Like the video, share it to your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel would be great. But until next time, peace out.